Thanks for listening to the Strong Back Nation podcast. If you would like any help with generating leads using Facebook, Google, yard signs, or any other tactic, you can email strongbacknation@gmail.com. Interviews are always welcome. We would love to have you on the show and hear your unique perspectives. You can provide an inquiry at strongbacknation@gmail.com. Today's episode, we talk about finding your ideal customer and how it's not just about getting the job done, but about providing a service that is felt throughout the community.
What's going on? Today I wanted to share with you kind of the customer base that I work with, or that I like to work with. So today I just helped a lady, not finished yet, but get a bunch of furniture and just random items out of her house. She's moving. And then she has a garage full of stuff. Not full, but like just random things. There's like chairs and boxes and a few items that could be reused, some old tools and stuff like that. So what I did was I loaded as much stuff as I could, and then I'll have to come back to get the rest of it. But her situation is her husband passed away like 4 years ago, and so she's just been dealing with, well, number one, it's hard to part ways with stuff that a significant other, that's got to be really hard to let go of things. So I can empathize with kind of what she's going through, or did go through. but now she's moved, like she moved all that stuff to a new house, and then she's moving again. So by the second move, she's just kind of done like dealing with all this stuff, having to move it twice. So that's where I came into the picture. What I love about customers like her is that I've had a couple of calls like this where like, hey, like I looked you up, I found you, and it just felt like it was meant to be. I love those customers because I agree. If they feel like I feel like I'm like, if it's meant to be, I feel like God has a part of helping me and running my business and helping me find those people that really need help, because it's my way of like service, helping them. And my favorite is helping the widows, the ladies who her husband passed away and they don't have any help, and so they call me, and I've got the manpower and the strength and the equipment to come and take care of them. Like, I don't know, it feels really good. It feels really good inside to help those type of customers, and they're amazing individuals. I really enjoy talking with them and kind of helping them out, figure out what needs to go, what's staying, stuff like that. So anyway, so I helped get the first load all situated, and then I told her I made a donation pile, because there's a lot of stuff in there that was like you could totally reuse. There's like a snowblower, like an older one, it still works, and like this little garden bed tiller, all these tools, and just things you can reuse. So I'm just going to set that aside and make sure that gets reused somehow, gets in a good place, or repurposed somehow. Because I'd hate to just throw those things away, so I just can't do it. Anyway, so as I was going through the garage, this is where business ethics comes to play. Because I was just when in a situation like that, I just kind of thumb through, just see if there's anything that you can donate, make sure there's nothing valuable or something she would want to keep. And so as I went through one of the boxes, a wad of cash surfaced. Nothing crazy, probably like $5 $1 bills or something like that. So I just grabbed the $5 $1 bills and put it on the table, and next time I go out there, I'll let her know, like, hey, I found this a few dollars in this box. I'm just setting aside anything valuable if you want to keep. But this hasn't happened to me yet, but I've heard stories where, like, other junk haulers where they go through and they open a drawer and there's like a wad of $10,000 of cash or something crazy. And so my philosophy is that I run on good business ethics. So I strongly believe that if you come across something like that it belongs to them, and you should let them know that, hey, I found this. You know, this probably want to let you should probably know about this, so that, you know, because it belongs to them, it's theirs. Even though they told you, like, hey, all this stuff needs to go, they probably didn't know about that wad of $10,000. So anyway, but good business ethics, and I live my life as if I'm accountable to God. And so one of the things I live by is, are you honest in your dealings with your fellow man? And so by keeping that money and not telling them about that, is that honest versus letting them know about it? So I think that's an obvious answer, but I'm sure there's certain individuals or people out there that would not be honest about that. So I just think I strongly believe that that's gonna, you know, you're gonna be held accountable somehow how you treat that situation. Anyway, treat your customers well, especially those widows. They need help, and especially if they don't have family. Like that's why they call me up, and I don't feel bad about the pricing or how much you charge, because that they need that service, and so they hire you to take away a lot of problems in their life, because they don't really. Honestly, I wouldn't want them moving all that stuff, because they could get hurt, or, you know, a lot of things could happen. Anyway, that's my ideal customer, because they're retired. They usually they have like retirement, so like paying for a service like that is just not. It's they don't. There's no like worrying about how much it's going to cost. They just call me up and I come out and take care of them. So another story. So there's this lady who, I think I shared with you this story with you in earlier episodes, but this lady called me and man, she was the sweetest lady. She had to have been like, you know, mid-80s, maybe 90, I don't know. Sweetest lady. But I showed up on her property. It was the summer. She's got this beautiful, amazing property that her husband built, I think in the 80s. And it was just like the architecture of this home was like really interesting. It's got like this curved garage built out of stone, and like this barn and this beautiful property. And she's got just like, oh, I just love like the history. You can just tell there's a lot of good memories that she had with her husband that passed away. And like there was, she had these 2 huge deep freezers from like 50 years ago. Like, oh man, I don't know. Like, I feel like they made things more quality 50 years ago. Like those deep freezers, because they still work. Like, I don't know how they last that long, but like they're still going. But she just doesn't want it anymore because it's too big and heavy. And so, but man, they're quality. And so I helped her get her deep freezers loaded, and then this is the most hilarious part. She's got all this farm equipment. She's got this side-by-side that she hops in, and she's cruising around in this side-by-side doing her farm stuff at like almost 90. And she let me, she's like, because I was in her barn going through all of her husband's stuff. I think he was in construction and he was an electrician. I don't know, something. He was a farmer guy. And he had all kinds of just old equipment and stuff. And so she let me grab the side-by-side, hook up a chain to pull some stuff out. Like, I think there was an old riding lawnmower in there that I hooked up and just dragged it out. And anyway, it was just a really cool experience. And then she had all this beekeeping equipment. And so I told her about that my oldest son is into beekeeping. And so she was so excited to hand that off to me. And so anyway, that was a really fun experience. I think I went there like 3 or 4 times and filled up a full trailer load of stuff. And anyway, sweetest lady. Really fun. But yeah, so I think that's a very specialized portion of my customer base is those widows. And they're really, a special kind of people that I want to make sure I take care of. And the other customers I really love is like those upper middle class customers. Like I roll up to their neighborhood, and the only thing that they don't have is like a gate to get into the neighborhood, because it's like borderline gated community. But it's like they have, there's like a golf course next to the neighborhood, and like in their house they have like 3-car garages, and you go inside their house, and there's like a theater room and a pool table and a bar and a really nice brand new poker table with like poker chips that hasn't even been opened. It's just for decoration. That's like what I ran into the other day. And so that's another customer. They just don't care about how much it costs. Like, they're just glad you're there. And the more professional you look, like, it just elevates their status. I feel like it just makes them look good, like, in the neighborhood. Like, they're calling up this luxury junk removal service company to come and take care of the stuff they need to get rid of. So there you go. Upper middle class, widows. I think what I'm going to do at the end of the year, I did this from all the jobs I did last year. I looked at the zip codes of all the customers I serviced, and I was really surprised at like the highest paying zip codes. And so I think that'll help focus on like my marketing, because like there's particular areas of zip codes that have paid really well, and they're really nice areas, wealthy areas. So I think I'll, for yard signs, or like, I don't know, I'm just gonna kind of focus on certain areas this year and see if that trend continues. And I'm really hoping the real estate market picks up, like, because the more people that move, like, the more work that we have to help them with. I'm predicting that this year's going to be a good real estate year. So we'll see about that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you today. I'm just going to finish up, just go dump the last load, and then family comes into town. I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks. I'm really excited to see them and enjoy the weekend. So I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but whatever you're doing, make sure you carve out some time to relax a little bit. All work and no play makes a dull boy. I think that's how the quote goes. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one.